is it? Am I live? Oh, hopefully I'm live. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just being on the phonies. Easy Snow Metal. Nice for you to come on board. Yeah, today I'm gonna. Oh, where's my headphone things? 1 second. Can you hear my voice? I think my voice should be all right. Let me just see. Blah 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 blah. Superstar. How's that sounding? Does that sound alright there? Yeah. How's that snow metal? Does that sound alright? Am I coming through okay there? Yeah, good. Alright, easy, Simon. Yeah. The ratio is good. Alright, I don't think I can do much about that. What will happen, after the end, I'll try and boost it a little. I'll have to turn down the music then, I guess, because well, tell me, is it the voice? Is my voice fine? Because I was just messing with this. Blah 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 blah. Cup of tea and a slice of cake. This is how I rap, but awake. All right, at all. Break. So, all right then. So what I decided to do. Welcome everybody to the Akai Force, a birthday Akai Force, nevertheless, because it's my birthday. Let's see. Voice sounds good against music. When you fit, yeah, okay, well, yeah, I'm facing the mic now. So, yeah. So what I've decided to do is I'm gonna kind of do some kind of one to one type thing, and set it up in a way that you can follow along with me if you've got your force switched on. I'm going a new project, and I wanted to do two things, and I want to try and keep focus because I'm terrible at this. Sometimes I'm terrible. I'll think of something. I'll go, oh, I'll show you this. This is ace. So what I'm going to try and do is there's one thing that I want to show, and it was what I wanted to show last week about drums, the drum tracks. So I'm going to try and show that, but I'm going to try and show it inside the thing what we're going to do now. And then the main focus, what I'm going to do is the Q edit stuff. So my main focus for today is going to be some of this. It's not going to be everything on the air because, like I say, I don't use everything on the air. But the main aspects are going to be envelope follower, which is ace, right? And probably pad grid and a bit of Q links. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Easy Dazza. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. If you have a force and you've got one, and you can turn it on and it's with the current firmware, that'd be ace. If you haven't and you're still curious and you like to watch these kind of stuff, then you'll be able to see what we did. And I'm going to use the stock content as much as possible. I'll apologize if somehow you catch me slipping and I end up not using it, but my main aim is going to be using content. So I'm going to go through the bass house stuff. I always like the good kicks. So, is that a nice kick? I think I like. I think that's nice. I'm going to use that, so I'm going to go with that. Right. And I'm going to kind of do something. I don't know. I always call it dance music. Somebody might call it house. Somebody might call it. I don't think somebody call it trance. It's probably tech. What the kids used to call techie, because that's what I liked and used to do back in the day. So I'm going to use something techie, kind of, to show what I'm going to do because it's just easier for me. Kind of techie, but bounce. I always call it bounce because I like it a bit bouncy and swingy, so not just straight. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little quick beat together, and then I'm going to start playing bits, and we're going to go from here. So the one I've got is Bass House Kit Raider. So you could either one-to-one it with me with Bass House Kit Raider, or alternatively, you could just use anything. But if you want to kind of follow along, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to not work mad fast, but I'm going to start making a few assumptions that people know things, so I'm not explaining crazy to depth about stuff. All right, so the first thing what we'll do is we'll set up a beat, and we'll do a quick beat here. So get our little kicks on. Right, do you know what? I didn't even check the kick, did I? Ah, yeah, it's good. I'm fine with that. So we'll have that. So we'll have that a little lighter. We'll have that. Probably a bit more swing here. Yeah, we'll do the rest in as normal. Yeah, that sounds alright. So fix a bit, because that's got mad decay on that, so I don't like it like that. Tighten that up a little. That's alright. We'll tighten this up as well. That's nice. I always like, me personally, I always like things close mic. The skippiness as well. I'll filter some of that as well. I don't like it too. So, a bit more. Yeah, that's all right. I think. Let me get my other headphone on. Yeah, probably that kick could be a bit tighter. So let's make that kick a little tighter. You know what? We'll just cut it down a bit in here. Bit more, maybe. Yeah, that sounds kind of all right. That's tight. All right. So right, we've got our thing. We're gonna make something techie. I'll tell you what we'll do. Yeah, I'm gonna make something techie out of this kit, and then I'm gonna start bringing the other drum thing that I wanted to show, and then I will go into Q links. So let's go. We'll do something basic, because then we can just get into it. So I'm just gonna play something off one of these musical things. I'll use this bass line thing, and then we can have. Oh no! Do you know what I'll do? I was gonna do it this way, but I just remembered, since I got this nice long note, can do a little bit of this. I don't know what they call it, but we'll go here, and we'll go to, we'll take legacy off, and what we're going to do is we're going to go across and we'll go to utilities, and we're going to make it legato and mono trig. We won't do quantize, and we'll do a glide, and then what we're going to have is we'll have a little curvy bass line. So, mate, is that it? Now a bit more curve. Okay, so that's cool. What I'll do is I'm going to make that a minor and just keep it in C minor. Do you know what? Let me see what the key is. More than likely this, because this is a stock kit, it'll probably be C. Probably be some C thing. Interesting. I can't see it from there. Why can't I see that? Right. Mental note to self. Let me go back to here. Yeah, C minor anyway. So this is, so that's making life easy because this is already in key. That means if I go C minor with a piano, it'll be right. So I can add a piano in, an example, and both of these will line up C natural minor anyway. So that saves a load of bother. Right, let me do a bass line. Let's see, I find simps and stabs are really in the kit. Yeah, it's a bit like the truth of it is, the key detection is a funny thing because especially with samples, because it's having to take a kind of guess at what the whole of that element is my observation on it. I think mixed in key is probably the tightest to it, in my observation. Don't quote me on that, but I mean it's doing a lot of moving. But what I tend to find though is it'll be in the scale key. Yeah, it'll be in the key of something. So obviously this is right. This is C minor. But if it isn't, say I don't know, let's say it's an F or something like that. It'll be in the scale of that. It's never usually out in my observation of things. And you can also go back and check it again. Anyway, that's not important. What's important is let's get this down. So I've got it in minor. So obviously I should be able to come up with something. I'm just going to come up with something. This is not going to be like a supercharged tune. It's just going to be a tune. In fact, I did it the wrong way around, but it doesn't really matter. I'm doing what I'm doing. So let's go. That'll do. So just one thing there I didn't like. Where was it? So that note. So we'll fix that note. Let's fix that note. Where is it? There. So let's highlight that note. Can I do it from there? Is that note? Let me just check, but I think it is. Don't quote me on it. No. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm getting giddy for no reason. All I have to do is nudge it, undo that. I'll just nudge that one note because it went too right. I think That'll do me. Right. So let's get on with the rest of this. Make this out into a tune. So go back to here. I'll use this because in theory this should be the same. And what else have we got? We'll have that one as well. So we'll do that. And then all we do is we're just going to copy that bass line. I showed you this before for anybody who's been watching. Oh, that's the piano. So that wasn't what I wanted to do, but I'll move that across. Okay. So I'll copy that again. Well, what's good is we know it's in the right key, so. So what we want is we want to get rid of some of that echo. Like that. Okay, and we'll add that in as well. More. Go. So it's a little late for me there, so let's go fix that the lazy way. Okay, shift that. And we got ourselves a little tune. Okay, cool. Envelope followers generally being regarded as very adaptable feature. Basically, the envelope follower is like probably the most powerful thing on here, without question, because the envelope follower, easy Charles, nice of you to join. The reason why is the envelope follower basically can do what effects can do. If you look at any like, if you think about effects, because sometimes what I always do is I'll look at certain things like Cinemad videos or certain videos, and then I'll go, how would you do that on the Force? And a lot of times when I'm seeing things, it'll be like I'll be looking at something and I'll go, oh yeah, envelope follower, you can do that. Especially for anything to do with like gates and compression style effects or anything like that. Envelope follower is just top for it. But anyway, let's move. So we've got the gist of our little thing here. So we've got our little kind of, whatever it is, little bouncy thing. So we've got a little tune here. So now let me quickly show you the thing. Now I've got my chords. I don't know what the chords are to this, but I'll use the thing what I showed you before about try to find chords to a sample and that lot. We know it's in the right key, so I'm gonna just take it off here, and do you know what? I'm not even gonna get smart on this. I'm gonna do this. So, wow, this piano sounds. Oh, I know why. Okay. Right. So I'm not even gonna get smart on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to progressions. Law of averages in the progressions, because it's already it's a C minor, right? Law of averages says in some of these progressions will be minor chords. So if that's true, there's going to be something what matches up with this. Let's try dance and see what we get first. So that's already one thing. So we could have that. Okay. Oh, interesting. What did I do that one up? So let's see. So I'm going to show you this ace trick now. This is, I think, quite cool. I was thinking about it because there's different ways to approach it. If anybody's watched any of my old videos, I had this video called the Liberace, and what it was a way of playing chords. Um, if you can't play chords, but be able to play like you can play chords, so it makes it seem like, and you could do it live, you can do it in any way, and you've got more control over the notes in the chord. Because at the moment, if you press that, it's just all one chord, and the only way you can separate is you have to go into clip, record it down, go into clip, and then change where the notes are played. So I created this thing called Liberace by sampling each note of a chord, and then in the drum kit, just playing it back. But now there's a change in here, which I don't even know if it's been spoke about, but I'm going to speak about it, which means you don't have to do any of that. You can do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is find some chords for this tune. As I said, progression. Why progressions are good is this is in C minor, so it's the law of averages. All the chords in these progressions are gonna match soon somewhere in this tune. The first one, what came up with? Let me just say, sorry, Dazzy, you said something. Will tell as how CP turns envelopes. Yeah. I've not done much yet. Has anyone pushed to max? Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Well, let's see. We'll find out. When we start adding a few of these envelope followers. Nature of things. You add more stuff. It has more stuff contain and performancey things. But as everything is always worked on, that might not be the case. So it might be the case now, but as we look on things and things move on, things do improve. So that first chord worked. I know that. I heard it. What I'm going to do to make my life easier, I'm just going to press create. I've created how many chords was in this? 1, 2, there was 4. So I'm going to go into here. I know this works, but pretend that like I don't know, so I'll play it. So that first chord worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to list. If you remember what I've showed in all my other vids, you'll probably remember that I was saying the easiest way to get something is just press the list. That's that note 16th, so it's a bit short, which is not a problem. I'll just go here, press stop. I'll select these chords and I'll just extend them. Do I need to know that? Is that important? No, this isn't even important because of the next thing that I'm going to show. So that chord is more for me to know that's right in this tune. So this first one is right. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do two things. I'm going to keep this. So I know that's right. So that's fine. That'll work. I'm going to find another chord for another change. Duh, duh. And I could play it, but I'm going to pretend I can't play it like that. So how would I do it progression? The reason why I'm showing this is just in case anybody who's not that nifty, if somebody shouts out and says, "Oh no, I think we're all nifty here and we can play keys and all that lot," then I won't show this because this is a little slower. So please chime in, and then I'll just find some chords the other way. But I'm just doing this in a kind of little easy way. But I still want it to be musical. So that sounds right. Does that sound alright? Does that sound alright? Yeah, I think that might be alright. And do you know what? I'm just going to play it once because I don't need to do it. right, so that's a 2. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Obviously, this doesn't make sense now, but it will do in a minute. So. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be accurate, but I'm just going to play some just for my ease of mind, and then I'm going to explain why I've done them. I've done what I've done. So I'm just going to put them there. So I know these chords musically work. So we got, and then something else. Maybe. Yeah, that'll do. Actually, that did a lot of changes there, didn't it? But let's see. Let's see how that works. All right, let's extend. We'll do the full 4 because it's 4. It's a 4. It's a 4-bar bass line. So let's do the rest of it. So we've got the first part. That's cool. Da, da, so that's still the same. So we'll play that in. So that's cool. So we'll look at some other chords. So we'll go here. We tried the dance one, the first one. We were quite fluky there. Let's see number 2. That's another minor, and the reason why we can tell is the way it's grayed out there tells you. Because if it was major, unless it's changed, yeah, you probably can't see, but it kind of tells you if it's chromatic, and they shouldn't be chromatic unless you made your own and you didn't choose the scale. It'll be chromatic, but otherwise they'll either be major or minor. And the good thing about that is when you put those in, if you go back to the scale, the notes will be right, so it'll all be coherent. Anyway, let's get back to where we were. So we'll try number 2. We might fluke it out. So we got. That'll probably be all right. Maybe that might be it. That might be it. That might be enough. That'll do. Did I get all of that? Let me just check that I got all of that. Oh, I didn't record it. I think that sounded all right. Should that be higher though? Yeah, that'll be all right for now. It's a more musical than it is techie, but it's more musical than it is more like melodic than it is techie. But we've got our chords. So there's one what doesn't need it, but I'm going to keep it in this one because it already played. So we just only have to play that again twice. But it's not important at the moment. So here's what's good. Because I did all these chords here in a clip. If I go and I go to, no, let me explain first before I get to that. So I've got all these chords here. If I go to list, all right, let me go back to grid. If I select that first cluster of notes, which is a chord, and I go list, I know what these are. So look, it's got C2, it's C2, C3, E flat, which actually it should be sharps. So for some reason it's gone flats. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Just remember it's C. It's as 2 octaves of C, and a flat E flat, which is what's E flat? That's D sharp, and E flat 3 and E flat 6. Right. Because it shows them there. So you're probably like, all right, I still don't know what you're on about yet, Tom. Here it comes. If I go and I go to drum, I put a drum kit in there, right? And I'll just put it to normal. So it's a black drum kit. And do you know what? Just to make it a bit better, I'm just going to put some colour in that. And I'll tell you what, I'll do it now. I'll do it now. So I'm going to put that to single pads, yeah, and I'm going to go like that. Then I'm going to do say that. And then I'm going to do say that, and then I'll do that, and I'll do that, and I'll do that. And I'll do that. Probably don't need this amount, but might as well, just in case. You never know. All right, so that's nice. That's nice. Let's go back. So I'm going to go into this drum kit that I've made, right? And again, you'll probably be like, what's your point? Oh, I'll do one more thing. I'll do one more thing while I'm here, because I must have some weird ass OCD, but I'm going to just make them like that, just for prettiness. It's not important, but it's important to me. So, again, we're back here. Now you've gone, and I still don't understand your point. Here's the point. If I go across, and I go, in fact, better than that, if I go shift mixer, I'll go into pad mixer. Shift mixer goes into pad mixer on the drum track and the key group. So that's a quick way of getting to the pad mixer on here. If I go to I/O, you're going to see these things here. So what are these things? Well, what these are is MIDI. So I can send MIDI from a drum kit out to any track. So you might be thinking, you might have got it. Some of you might know this, some of you might not, or whatever. If it's new to you, cool. Then cool. Let me just get my glasses, because good lord, how small that. Let me just so I can read them. I'll see it. Anyone who's joining in with me will probably understand where I'm going with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to MIDI. No, this first one here, A1, and I'm going to call it C2. So I'm going to go C2. I'm going to go to this next note here. I'm going to call that C3. I'm going to go to this next note here. I'm going to call that E flat 3, because I luckily it's which is it's there. It's a flat. Interesting. That's interesting. Right, and the next one was E6. So that was E flat 6. So now these are notes that are sending out MIDI notes. So all I have to do now, because like I say, I don't know what that tune, I don't know how that tune worked or played. I'll just go to scales. I don't think this matters. I don't think this matters from what I remember. In fact, let's try it. Let's try it. I don't think this matters, but let's just check on the safe side. If I say to myself, this drum kit, I want to send this drum kit to that piano. So you can do this across MIDI, you can do this internally or externally. So where's that piano? Where's piano? There it is, plug in. So, oh cool, it doesn't. So I must have been wrong. That can't be 6, can it? What was it? What was that called? Oh, and that's cool, because that means I could play chords and thing at the same time. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. Tell me if anything I'm saying is confusing. It was 4. That's why I need my glasses on. E3, E flat 4. I knew it worked right. 6. So let's go back to there, and we'll go to the pad mixer. for that last note, which wasn't that, it was an octave down. Just out of curiosity, can I do that? Oh, no. I knew I was getting too giddy with that. So go back to here, and it was octave E flat 4. So them chords what I've played, I've got that, but here's the thing. I can play that, you know. So let's go to the next one. What was that? So hope you understand what's going on here. And we might as well finish it off. So the next 4 were these, but I'm going to pretend like I don't know what they are again, because I might not. I'll go to these chords so I can highlight them. And again, it's G, and then it's flat 3/4. So it's pretty easy, this one. So it's B flat 3/4 and G, B flat 3/4 and G. So go here. So go B. Oh no, it was G. G2, G3, octave. So G3, and then it was B3. I think B flat. I think it was B flat. Don't quote me on it. If it was B, then it's no problem. It's just change. So there you go. And what's great is I can make inversions or whatever. So, and I can keep going like that. What's that say? I'm digging the technique. Oh, nice one. Nice one. So this means now I can play things musically because I can set up chords. And what's better about this is I could set up banks of chords, but I could save this in a. So if I was wanting to play live now and I wanted to play along with a tune, and I was like, oh, I don't quite remember how keys work or anything like that, I can set them up. So I'll just do it on these 2 just to show you. So I won't do the whole shenanigans because I wasn't going to go on for a mad long one this time, I guess. So let me go back, launch. It's so ace, this machine. There's so many different ways of doing stuff. Right, so you know what? I might as well finish it off. I might as well finish it off. I've started, so I'll finish. So let me go back. I'll finish it. So we're back to, where are we? We're here. No, we're here. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 1. Right, we're going back in here and we're finishing it off. So I'll try and do this really speedy as I possibly can. So highlight these, and they are. Let me just quickly go down there. E flat, G, B flat, E and F. Right. I'm trying to think of a quicker way of doing that. I don't think there is a quicker way of doing that. In an ideal world, it'd be nice if you could copy and paste, but that would be nightmare in real terms. Is there a quicker way? Is there a quicker way we could do that? No, not really. Because even if I hit the notes, you'd have to know where the notes were. So basically, there's no quick way of doing this, but you only have to do it once, and then it's ace. You've got it. So let me finish it off, and then we've got that as our chord what we can play with, and then we can start getting into the Q links, not Q links, all the Q linky stuff, but the envelope following that. So mental note to myself: E flat. So it's E flat, G, B, and E flat, G, B, and oh right, E flat, B, G. So these 2. So you're probably now. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is quite good. This has got how many notes has this got? This has got world of notes on it. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got that's 6. Yeah, this has got 6 notes. So what would so this is actually a good one to do. So let's see how my memory is. Um, the E flats, and then it's after that it's G, B flat, E flat, and G. I'll say that again to myself. So got it. G, B flat, E flat, and G. B, G, E flat, G flat, and B. Right. So on this next one, so we'll go here and we'll go to there. And the first thing was it was a 2. There were G's. So G, and then this is what I'm going to do again. I'm going to say this one, and I'm just trying to think. How can I do that on twice? Oh yeah, that's what I remember. That was the thing that I want. Yeah, I remember now. If we have 6 notes, how can we do more than that? Actually, we can't. We can't do more than that, can we? Unless no, we can't. So here's a thing. You can't have everything. You can't have everything. So you can do it up to 4 notes, or you could have 6 notes. You could actually do that if you want. So we could actually do the 6 notes. We can do the 6. We might as well. We'll do the 6 notes. So we've got G, E flat. I think three chords might do it. G, 3, E flat. I've already forgotten, Anna. E flat. I'll go back to that. What was it? Here's a trick. I've got a trick. I've got a faster trick of doing it. If I go like this, I get them chords because them chords were there. Ignore that. And I copy them across. Then all I have to do is hold and then let go. Hold and let go. Because if you remember, what as I said before, if you hold and let go, it goes back. So what I'm going to do is if I go here, I need to highlight that. So I'm going to highlight these chords and I'll go to list. Make sure that I'm with. Oh, right. I'll highlight these chords. I'm going to go to follow. Right. I'm going to play it once so that I know that it's there. Right. I'm going to move them across so that I can see all them chords. Right. So I've got them chords there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pad mixer. So now I'm in pad mixer. Now I'm in pad mixer. I'm going to go back to the chords what I was looking at. So this one's right. That one's I think was right, but I'm not quite sure because I copied that across. And I wasn't. I need to select the one what I'm to make sure. Is that right? Yeah, I'm on 7. So this one is the one I copied across. If I press clip, it's going to show me where they are. So I can see. Have I? Oh, you lie. Did I pick the right chords? Yeah, I've selected chords, but I obviously didn't select the right ones. So let me go back. Can I keep my finger on here? So this was the first. This was the second. This is a third. So I got it. I got the chord things wrong. I got the chord things wrong. Can I keep that note? But if I let go, can I go back? Yes. Look at that. How brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? So these were wrong. These were wrong. But now I've got a fast way of getting this, so this should be quick. So I've got my first chord. this next one is the one I want to do. So I'm already in pad mixer. So I just hold that. I compress that because all the clip stuff still works the same. I'll move that up so I can see what it is. So I want A. Oh, you lie. Right. I don't even have to do that. This is what's really good. I enjoy this type of stuff. I hope you're following what I'm going to do here. The reason why that was showing, I was right. The problem was I'd copied to a drum track, so it's not going to show notes. It's going to show pad notes. So that was my problem there. It wasn't going to show notes. It was going to show pad notes. But because you can select pads, so oh, you idiot. Undo. Right. No, that's right. So that's right. Okay. So I can delete this. Right. I'm on this, but I want to select this. And then if I go back here, this is still selected. No. So what I need to do is change this. So I've got to go Shift Launch and tapping clip selects. So I'll turn that off. So now if I go like this is selected, but if I change here, come on. There you go. Is that right? If that is, I don't know if that matters. Let me just check something. Let me just check something. I don't think this matters. Or does it? Let's see. Right. So that doesn't work. What we need to do, I don't think there's a quick way around here. Because if I go like this is right. But that's not what I want. So the only quick way I can do it is I can keep that on there and then I just have to keep coming back and forth. So there's no quick way really to do this, really, unfortunately. It's just the nature of what it is. So if I go like that, I can select it like this, and then at least these are highlighted. I'll just scrape that up there. So there's no quick way. So I was wrong anyway because look at that, it was E flat. It was E flat. It wasn't a G. I couldn't remember. So it's E flat, B flat. Um, anyway, do you know what? I'm not gonna do them chords. I'm gonna leave them chords. I've shown what I've shown because I'm always conscious of I don't want to bore anybody. Um, so even though I said, oh, I was going to continue because nobody's typing in, I'm going to just assume that you'd rather not continue. So what do that? I've shown what I've shown. I'm going to have to try and find some kind of pad somehow and go from there. So I'm just going to make them into a quick pad. And unless somebody tells me otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not wanting to see me finish that off and show that in practice because I'm going to have to do every single one of them things. It's not a problem. It's just that I don't want to bore you. But you get the basics of it if you don't. Is that any chords you can create up and then you've got a whole chord thing there that you could use yourself. Obviously, these aren't right because they're just what the natural ones are. And I could do inversions. What somebody said something now. I learned something. Oh, cool then. Right, so I'm not going to continue that. So I'm just going to make some flat chords and then just get into this. Um, I'm conscious about even when I do garbage, I want it to be coherent, but it is what it is. So the best thing I'm going to do on this is I'm just going to legato all of this shenanigans. So come in here. I don't even think I need to select them all. I'll just go all, and then legato and do it, and then they're all long ass chords. But in theory, don't quote me on this, should Yeah, I thought it would be coherent. So I'll extend that, and do you know what? I'll keep this. I was going to delete this, but the thing is, I've got something musical there. So I mean, if I wanted, I could have. If I couldn't play. Right. So anyway, the reason why I did that and to that length is I can change these to something paddish. I'm gonna go with my little go-to. And I shouldn't have chose that one. But never mind. I start to see why. Certain people say certain things to me now. I'm gonna go to my go-to string thing. Yeah. Damn instructions. And that's my fault because I forgot. Damn. Well, anyway, you won't have to worry about seeing this happen anymore. I'll put it that way. So, put my favourite thing on. Oh no, bounce. Okay. So, first the easy one. We can either do it here by going to Q-Link edit, or we can go by pressing edit knobs, and it'll take us to Q-Link edit. So if you didn't know that shortcut, that's how you can do it. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an envelope forward to that gate stuff. But I'm just going to add a basic envelope first. So what I can do is I'll go envelope forward, and I'm going to say the drums, this pattern here, what's playing, I'm just going to send it straight to that track. So I'm going to go down to the string track, and I'm going to send it to the volume. So now it's all bouncing, and then I just bring the gain up, and then I'll warm the gain up. Probably a bit of delay, maybe. So I've got a little bounce inside of a bounce, and I suppose I could say that might be a bit too gentle, so I think I'll go with a fabric. I'll find something. I'm not going to think too much on this. Okay. All right. So that's your basic thing. But what I could say to myself is, um, what, probably I want pan. That's what I'll do. I'll have pan at the end. So what I could say to myself is, I could either add a pan here. Do you know what? Let me explain a bit of envelope flow because I'm getting into it, and a lot of people might not know how envelope flow works. Basically, the envelope of whatever the source is, right, is used as like a signal. So it's always audio. It's always an audio signal. So so for example, the sound of anything coming from this track and any part of this track. So for example, this is a drum track. I could go in and I could say, well, I only want, say, the hi-hat to be doing that. Or alternatively, I could go and make a sub. So I could make a sub mix and then say whatever's coming into that sub mix, that's what I want to be affected. So I could get a bunch of sounds and then move them out there. I could the easiest one is, which would be a waste of time really, is a kick, because there's two ways you could getting a kick. You could either use the mother ducker, which is a compressant way of doing it, which is actually the compression thing, or there's an actual pumper, which is a pretend version of what this does, and that's an effect. But if I don't want to take up those effect channels by using a mother ducker, because then that's just one thing more out of them four that I can't use. And the other thing is, if you put if you have a insert bunch of inserts going into a sub, you're creating a delay because those sounds are going into another signal, and if you add to that, it starts to create a delay. You probably won't notice that. It's observable if you start getting into sophisticated recording, which I don't know how much people record on here sophisticated, but you can do a lot of clever audio recording tricks, like an immense amount, especially now as well with a lot of features. I've never really shown that because again I don't know if people just use that and then they go onto um, the onto a DAW system or like that. I've always thought I might show comping. I think I might have showed a bit of comping one time, but I mean you can do some really quite nifty comping stuff and some other stuff as well. What's now being resolved. But anyway, I'm getting away from what I'm saying. Let me see somebody else. I'll just quickly go and see what. Oh, don't sync. Yeah, yeah. There is a sync, and I think I've talked about this. You have to kind of go old school and you use your hertz. But I mean, everybody who's got basically a phone can do this. You can just type in to say, well, what would BPM be in kilohertz for this, and it's not. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not that accurate because it's off by, I can't remember. It's off by a little bit. I mean, if you're doing some mad 200 BPM stuff or any crazy stuff like that, then that that delta gets wider, and you have to kind of use your ears. But for the most part, you can just do it via um, whatever the hertz is. So if it's 90, I don't know, like this is 123, then I can't remember what it is, but you just do it to that hertz and it's going to be right. It's just that it doesn't have sync per se. Um, and I kind of get it, and it just doesn't have it now. So that's the thing you have to remember. It sometimes things are like they don't have them now, doesn't mean it doesn't have it. It's not going to have it. Somebody's saying, um, how many audio tracks do you get with across the unit Gen ones and not Gen well across the units it's eight audio tracks, eight plugins, but you've got 128 either key groups or drum tracks or midis or whatever. So basically depending on how you work, I always believe, and I commit. I say this is true with Ableton as well. So I say the only time it isn't probably true is maybe Logic and or maybe Cubase, maybe Fruity Loops. But I think for Ableton and for the Force, anything like that, I think when you get something, you should commit it. Two reasons why I always say that is you'll end up finishing tracks because you'll just have to have committed that sound and you'll just end up finishing track because you won't go, well, I'll get back to that later when I decide on the sound. You'll go, well, I've had to commit, and it makes you make decisions. Um, and again, it depends on what you're doing it for as well, what you're using it for. But it's 8 plugins and 8 audios, but it's 8 audio tracks, but it's, I don't know, it's a mad amount of audio clips. And here's the other thing about the audio tracks is you can have different audio on the one track. So it's not like you're stuck to having just one piece of audio on the track. You can have multiple audios in track. You can have multiple audios in a clip. So, in example, you could have a clip what's got drums, hi hats, it's got a whole load of things in one clip, literally in one clip, and then you can have multiples of that over sequences. So the eight audio isn't limitation. It's just depending on how you work and how bone idle somebody is. Really, there's so many different ways. Let me see. Somebody asking another question. You can resample clips. Oh yeah, and you can auto bounce now. So it's not even like you don't have to even put stuff to looper. The only time when you want to do looper is external. If you're bringing something in audio external, it's better to do it to looper. If it's MIDI stuff and you've played something MIDI out using this or from somewhere else, I would put it through the looper and record it through the looper because the looper uses bars. So you know you're not having to mess with time. You know that it's going to be the bars are going to be right. It's going to be exactly right, and then you don't have to warp it or whatever. Or you can warp it after. It's up to you, whatever. From that, so um, I've never used the Force. Just wondering if it was different to the One Plus. I love the Live 3 not having about samples then drum tracks. Yeah, that's the nature of time, though, isn't it? It's like saying, nature of time, something's going to be better if it's newer. Yeah, it's just quicker, no work. Well, it's just the nature of time. Something what's invented now and something what was created 6 years ago, they're going to be different. If it was the same, that would be a concern. It'd be like a computer. 6-year-old computers not going to have the same performance as a computer what was made last week. Um, what am I on about? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that way. To saying all of the platforms are the same now, which is good because it's unification for the most part. But again, it's the hardware which is different. So that's the nature of whatever works for you and how that works. Why I like the Force, and even now I still like the Force, is just because of the amount of things. I like loads of buttons because it means I can make choices. I can do choices and I can do things where if there isn't that much going on, I don't have as much choices. Now, depending on some people, they like they don't like lots of choices. They like, well, that's the only way you can do it, and that's going to be the only way you can do it forever, and that's fine. It's up to you. And I always think, well, if something's got a load of choices, then you've got the choice to just do that one simple thing and permanently do the simple thing forever. But you've got the choice to do some more complicated stuff or whatever. You have choices. So that's my point of view on it. Um, but again, portability, things that don't resonate for me, I'm all right to plug stuff in because how I use things is different. I'll tell you this. Me personally, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. Me personally, because of the way technology is and my observation and stuff, I think there's two fundamental roads what we're reaching now. I think we're already there, but I think there's two different roads. There's um, the process, and then there's a purpose. I think going forward, I think hardware is going to be for performance, for live human interaction, or for process. I want to be able to do this and twiddle with knobs and blah blah blah, because I'm not really that. I want an end tune and I want something I like and blah and made that, but that's not important. The important thing is that I get to twiddle and touch things, and I know I was there because, truthfully, the purposes are going to always be AI. It's going to be undefeated. It's undefeated now, and it hasn't even started because somebody said, "I want a hip hop beat." That's it. It's a hip hop beat. That's how that's going to work. If you're a big label, you're just gonna, yeah, I'll do that because now I don't have to do contracts. I don't have to worry about someone getting ill. I don't have to worry about any of it. But for people who want to touch things, and yeah, it's a purpose. I like doing this. And why I say that, to step a bit further, human interaction is people are going to want live performances. They're going to want to see people do this stuff real. They want to see that because there's going to be an expectation, and the expectation is going to be the standard. So the expectation is going to be, oh, well, I heard that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, and that'll be that. Oh, that's AI. And it won't be, oh, I can tell that's AI. It's just going to be, oh man, that's too amazing to be kind of human. It sounds horrible, but it's the truth. People are going to go. But in the same time, that's going to be its own fight because people are going to listen to things and go, oh, that's an amazing way. Oh, that's quite a nifty way of thinking about it. And they're going to implement that. But the thing is, you can't go here, AI, and bring out a box. So that's where the human interaction is going to be because it's going to be more performance, is my belief. You never know. It's like Robocop. If anybody who watched Robocop, when I was young and I saw Robocop, that was the future from that point in time. But then the future changed. But at that time, that's how that felt. Robocop seemed like a lot of that stuff seemed like really viable. Some of it kind of did because I ended up that way. But anyway, sorry, I've gone off on one. Let's see. I like the factor, form factor false. Yeah, it's great form factor. I I swear down on this machine. It's just fun. It's fun. I can use Cubase and whatever and loads of other stuff, but this is just fun and performing with it just by yourself or in a band or anything like that. It's just ace. It's fun. I'll mess around. I'll come up with ideas, blah blah blah, and just always fascinated by it. It's nice, great little kind of toy. You can complete things. Some ideas that I've come. There's no way I would get them in a DAW. Some bass lines by using drum tracks. I've created bass lines where there's not only would I never think about it, I won't be able to do it in a DAW because the time it would take to do that in a DAW, it wouldn't be a thing. It's really weird. Lots of things like the mastering and stuff like that can be done in here, and actually really well now because they've redone the suite. So you've got a whole heap of the what's it called, the effects suites, these, that, all that stuff in there is amazing. The factory things, amazing. I really want to go into that because a lot of people get caught slipping and think, oh well, there's no in there, and it's like, no, there is. There's some There's this. There's a drum thing. I can't remember what it is, but it just kind of cleans up all your drum. If you've got a drum kit on and it's kind of feeling a bit ropey, you put this on and it cleans up all the tails. I don't know how the guy, whoever put it together, is just ace. There's certain things in there which are ace, and then again, there's certain things which are like stemming's going to take the time that it's going to take. Certain things are going to take the time they're going to take. Um, Inversions and stuff. Yeah, you're going to have to figure it out. But then again, that was true many years ago on DAWs. There wasn't stuff like that on DAWs. So, I mean, it's not really new that it's one and the other. The fact that it's portable, for me anyway, and live performance is a thing for me. Live, the fact that I can do it live that's the thing. Um, if it was, if I'm a, oh, I want a hip hop beat type person, then I'll just go AI. Just you can type it in a hip hop beat, you're gonna get the hip hop beat. And that's it. That's the end of that. It's arguable. You typed in the words "make a hip hop beat," so I suppose there was a process to it. I guess maybe. So it's that kind of thing that you have to kind of decide. Anyway, like I said, that's my personal opinion on it. And I like this machine. They all have the same now. The platform's the same, so it's like you can choose which one is right for your budget and is right for you, which works for you. Some people like the portability of it. Some people like the small size. Different things. I personally, I'm kind of like I like to try and I like all in ones. I like encompassing things. That's why I'm not an Andy Bell type. Andy Bell? No, Vince Clark. So I'm not a Vince Clark. I used to be a Vince Clark type human being, and then somebody showed me reason and sold everything because that's the kind of human being war. The only thing I kind of do regret because they're worth a bit of nice pennies and 808 and the 106 and maybe some other stuff, but I would have sold them again anyway because I would have just took the money because like an 808's like 5 grand now. So I'd rather have that 5 grand than the 808, maybe. Yeah, no, no matter how I look at it, I would have just sold it. I just would have waited, maybe. I don't know. Sorry. Right, let me get back to this. All bits fish inside anything I've done. Resale, nothing against doors. Yeah, you do what works for you. I think everybody has different reasons why they do creative stuff. For a long time, mine was, oh, because if I'm being silent, oh, I'm going to be a superstar, then I'll be in a better position for this, that, and the other, and whatever. And that was it. And, and, and I'll be honest, what happened to me was I did something, and then people gave me money for it, and I was like, "Oh, you can get money for this stuff," and it changed everything, and it spoilt me truthfully for a bit because I would do stuff and then I'd get money, and then when the money didn't come, oh, I have to figure out how to do stuff to get the money from this music stuff, and I totally forgot what it was that I was doing it for. I was doing it because I liked music and I enjoyed the process. Sometimes you have to kind of remember that, and then and for better or worse, the fact that the music industry changed vastly made that choice for me. Right, let's go, let's go. Um, yeah. So anyway, envelope follower um, underneath here is sending a signal. You can send different signals. You can send a signal on top of a signal, but what it's doing is you can say what that signal is going to do. So um, I've got this going here, right? And what was the thing that I was going to do? I wanted to do something else, didn't I? I was going to send. What could I do? I could do. What was I going to do before? Oh, the hi hats, I suppose. Yeah, that's it. So, for example, I've got my hi hats. I kind of touched up the hats, but let's say let's say yeah, let's try some variation with this hi hat. So I'm gonna get another envelope follower, and you've got 16 of these things. So I'm gonna get another envelope follower and the hi hat, and I've got a track, and because I tapped that pad last, that pad should be there, and it's there, Raider, and oh no, I could have done learn. I'm so. Do you know what? Ignore what I did there. Right. Go here. Go edit. That's a hi hat. Then go to learn across here. Right. On number 2, got a hi hat. So if I go edit. Oh no! What am I? What am I learning? I'm going to learn. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll learn. I will learn the filter. So I'm going to go to the filter and I'm going to learn that filter. So that filter cutoff, I'm going to learn, and I'm going to make the hi-hat do its own filter cutoff, which should be interesting. So I'll take that learn off and I'll go edit, back to knobs, go here. I've got filter cutoff is there, and then all I have to do is I'll go here, and it was A3 and it A13. So oh, it says there. So if I was in doubt and I was like, well, what's the thing? I can see it says it's A03. So I can go this pad A03, which is going to be an interesting thing. I've got no idea what this will do. But now this hi-hat, it's not doing much. So let's put a bit boost on that. Oh, it was that. So it's A4. Let me just check what. Oh, it was right. So I'll undo that. And we'll open that up a bit. We'll open that up a bit. Let me do a range. So here's a parameter range, and what this will say is, what I'm saying is, it's not going to go below this, or it's not going to go above that. Do you know what? I'm going to do it on a different thing. What can I do it on? Because that's not going to be clear. That's not going to be clear. Let me try and find something what I can do an envelope on. Which there was something that somebody asked me before, and I was trying to tell them how you could do a delay. So I'm going to do a delay, and I'll say whenever it hits a certain. So I'll make that snare whenever it hits a certain level, it'll delay. Is a good example, I suppose. Is that a good example? Yeah. No. What's a better example? What's a better example? Is somebody asking? Oh no, it's no. I'm trying to think of what's a good example for me to use on the envelope follower. I think I've explained the envelope follower, but I'm just trying to think of something which is not going to sound janky. Oh, I'll tell you what. That's what I'm going to do. This sound here, I'm going to make it go down, and then make it go down. Right. So this sound is going to be affected in a way that it's going to go down and echo off. That's what I'll do. I'll do that. So I'm going to have that sound in here. Is that the best way of doing it? I'll just do it as an envelope follower. It's not the best way of doing it. No, I'll do it as a Q link. So I'll show you Q links. I think I've explained envelope follower. There isn't really much more to it. There is, but fundamentally, you're sending a signal from whatever source it is. Drum kits are really good, but you can send it from subgroups, so you could add a bunch of sounds together, and you're sending that signal, and it can be modulated by or affected by many things. So, for example, if I went to a track and then I went to like plugin, I could go to the inserts or the events and mute it and different things. Whatever kind of signals, inserts are good because that'll be based on what that whatever's in whatever the parameters are in that insert. So, for example, if I had an echo, I could have it so that it's hitting an echo. But what I can do, and I've got one. I've got one here. Here's one. You could do a multi-band compressor of types, but I'm not going to show that. But what I could do is I could say it only echoes, and because this is so long, I don't want to take too long because I've already been quite long. What I could do is I could make something echo um for a short amount of time. So I could make it echo for a short amount of time, and then when that signal drops below something, it won't echo. So when it drops below something, I could do that, I suppose, or it only echoes at a frequency, so it's only going to echo on a frequency. Now you see, these things I'm explaining now, but you can just you could do those anyway. So that's the thing. What you could do is you could use that to do an echo. Yeah, I'm going to show Q links because the Q link one is better. Where I'll say I want something to go, yeah, 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 yeah. So it's gone, and then echo off. That's probably a better way of doing it, because if you understand how Q links work, you'll probably understand the envelope forward is the same thing, but it's just sending a signal, I guess. If anybody wants me to do any more into that, please state, because there's I don't really want to get bogged down. I want to kind of finish this off. So I'm going to use a Q link, and then I can show the pad grids, and then I guess that's about the size of it. And I'll quickly arrange something, and then we did some, because I did a lot of talking there, and I didn't want to do that. So all right, so let's go to Q link. What I want to do is I'm going to make that go echo off. Right. So what I'll do is I've got pad mixer, and I'm going to add an effect to that. I'm going to add a couple of effects actually. So I'm going to add, what was the first one? I want it to go up. So the best one I've seen for this, and let me just check. I have to quickly. It's on here. Harmonic stutter. Stutter. There's probably more now, but I'm just going to go with the one what pops in my mind. Go to, I think it's on modulation as well. So we got stutter there. I think that's right. Don't quote me. Let me just check. Yes. All right. So I've got my stutter. Um, so I'll do that first. So what I want this sound to go is, and I want it to raise up. So you can hear it's doing that stutter thing anyway. And somebody might have mentioned, when they saw what's it, Flex Beat Player, and say, oh, you could do that in Flex Beat Player, and there's a lot of things that Flex Beat you could do without Flex Beat Player. But the thing is, Flex Beat Player does it all in one insert, where you might have to take several inserts to do the same thing. So that's the kind of thing you need to think about. A lot of people don't even really realize stutter, how good stutter is. I don't know how many people use this, but it's quite a good thing. As you can see, it's doing some steps there. You've got the intervals of how it's going to do it. Quarters. Do you know what? I'll control the intervals. I'll control the intervals. So I'll do, yeah. I'll keep it like this. So I've got that. What I want to do is I want to pan that. So I'll pan that over time. So I'm going to pan it over time. So I'm going to make it go. Let me just get me the headphone on just to make sure I'm like that. Okay, so that's pan. And what I'll do is I'll make it reverb as well. So I'm gonna have that. And then I'm gonna make it go up. So Okay. Yeah. So I want that longer. So the decay. Probably 2 steps. Oh, louder. So yeah, okay then. All right, now I'm going to do that. So mod delay, thingy delay. No, a freeze. Maybe I'll do a freeze. A freeze is a bit of a funny one actually, because the foot freeze will. So that's what I'm going to do. I remember now. So I don't need to have that. So I want. That's it. That's what I want. I have to remember. Do you know what I mean? There's so much things that I remember that I have to. So that'll climb. That'll climb in 2 steps. So that's going to climb in 2 steps on a freeze. Yeah. And so and shall I do it off? So yeah. Okay. Right. So I'm going to do all of those effects in one go. So the easiest way of doing it is I'll just go learn. Yeah. Learn. I'm going to choose that one. So it's Q-Link 1 now. Do you know what? On project. So I'm going to go to Q-Links and I'm going to learn it in a project. What I could do actually is I could learn it in a track. I'll do it on a track. And the reason why I'll do it on a track. Oh, do you know what? I can even do it in a track effects. So I'll explain these just in case somebody doesn't know. Project means overall, so it's the whole thing. So you can have several things. You've got 16 faders, you've got pad grids and a whole lot, and that'll affect different things in different places. So you've got tracks that you can affect. You can affect several tracks at once. You can affect basically everything you can affect on pads and that, and that's general over there. And you've got 2 of those. So in theory, or even Q-Links alone, you've got 32 Q-Link things that you could control over over 2 banks of projects. On top of that, you've got track effects, not track effects. You've got track Q-Links. So these are specific to a track. So I can set all of this up on this in this track thing here, and it should be specifically for this track. And let's see if that's true or not. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go track. I'm going to go Q-Link 1 of that track. So at the moment, and I should tell you this because a lot of people don't know about this, the stock kits come with some ace stuff, and they come already preset. So when you got a Q-Link track, if you didn't know this, you now have all of this. So you have these tunes and levels, and they're for each piece. So watch this. That clap is different. So I can tune this clap. And this one's... So maybe the hi-hats, I don't know exactly which ones are which. So that's a hi-hat thing, that. there. I don't know if you could hear that. And obviously all this stuff is automated. So that already, so remember the stock kits already come pre-made. If you ever want to use the stock kits, they already come like that. What am I going to do for this one? And you've got volumes as well. So you've got actual volumes for this. So this is the volume for that clap. So is it? I don't know what that's for. I can't tell what that's for some reason. Anyway, I digress. This is not what we're doing. We're going to learn this whole thing. So quick way of getting rid of stuff or copying stuff is you can use copy to copy something across. So always remember you can use copy to copy stuff across, and I'm going to undo that, and also to delete. The reason why I want to delete that is because unless I tell it otherwise, it's going to do it on top. And how you would do something so that it stops it from being on top is here. You go here and you take off add, then it's not going to add it. It's going to replace it. For this thing, we're going to add our effects, so we're going to just stack them. So the first thing what I want to learn was, do I want intervals? I'm going to learn the intervals. So I'm going to learn the interval. So all I need to do is select that. Did I put that on learn? It'll help if I did. Knowing me, probably didn't. So turn it on to learn. And come on. Right. So that's showing that it's in learning mode. So what I can do is I can say, right, I'll select that, and then with the data dial or these, just move it, and that'll activate. So now that's just learnt that, and it shows that it's learnt that. The next thing I'm going to learn, what did I say? I'm going to learn the pan. So because I'm going to move that pan, so I'm going to turn that pan right back down. So this is going to be the starting position because I've moved it on that. So this is going to be the starting position for this, and then I'm going 64. So I'm going to remember 64. Um, right, 64. I'm going to remember that 64 because, and I'm going to learn that as well. So, and I'll start that in an up position. Right. Anything else did I want to do? Yeah. Um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that as a button. Shall I do that as a button? Does that make sense to do it as a button? Yeah. It'll do. I'll learn the other thing as a button, so you can see pad grid. And I think we're good there, and hopefully you'll understand what's gone on there. Yeah, I'm going to learn both of those as a button. Cool. I'll do that. Right, so then I'm just going to go edit knobs and I'm going to turn off learn. So as you can see there in this track, and let's check if I was right about that track effects because it should be. Yep. So each track can have its own effects. So it's like Project, but for each track, which is again, it's immense. It's an immense thing because it means I can set up all these shenanigans literally for this track. Keep in mind, you it's for this track. So whenever you're using this track, these effects using for this track, they're not across everything. It's across the stuff in this track. That's another way of using. So think about it in a way of using screen. When you go to screen, if I went to screen on a piano, say, oh right, yeah, that's. Oh well, anyway, never mind, whatever. So where's that piano? Yeah. Say this. Oh, these are also got effects on them already. So this already has track details, and they're copied the same way as screen is, which is quite cool. So, in fact, they're better than screen. Wow. So there you go. Because somebody has gone in there and said these ones would be really useful. So they've put these in here already, and these will be specific to this track. So these will be specific to this preset. Don't quote me on that, but I feel that would be specific to this preset. Don't quote me on that. I think it's only track. So I think this is fundamental across all of this plugin. I think a different plugin will have different ones. Okay, don't quote me on that. So anyway, you have that and you have track effects. Track effects is two things. There's the factory racks, what we already know about, and it's all the information from there. So if I add in a factory rack, say I add a factory rack to this here, so I'm on this piano one. I hope I didn't mess. Oh yeah, it was a different one. I go here and I say to myself, right, well I want simps, so I'll go here and I go dub out that. All that stuff is in there. So if I go track effects and I go back to that, all of this stuff here is all of this in here. So if I was to play, I don't think this is playing. So I can mess with this. So basically, the irony is, this is doing what I was going to set up. So, so basically, you could, that was random as hell. That is basically what I was going to set up, but it's already done on a track. But anyway, I'm going to show you how you make your own ones. That's why I was saying people really should check them factory effect racks, because that's got some mad stuff on there. Because that's got something that I've not thought about using spring. And the reason why I say you should check it is this is somebody's job. This is what they've done. So them rack effects, unless you're spending I don't know, 8 hours a day as a job doing them, I think you're going to be hard pushed to find a lot of these effects, and even at its minimum, they're good for starting off with, but a lot of them will do things where unless literally you're into sound design, you're saying, right, well, I don't even care about tunes, I'm just making designs. You're not going to get them. I would say anybody who does all that ambient stuff, that seems to be in nowadays, they want to be in these rack effects because that's going to save you a load of, and there's some interesting stuff. But anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So that's rack effects. The reason why I would say number one, that's for the factory ones, but it's also for ones that you make because you can save your own. So if I was doing this, I did this effect as a track, didn't I? I did it as a track. So let me go back. And I did it for that one thing in it. So let me go back, plug in here. Oh yeah, edit knobs. That's it. So let's go back to rack effects, and it was a track, and it's a macro that I've done here. So I've done that macro on a pad. I didn't even realize because I was so wrapped up on it. And as you can see, it's doing all that. Now, this is where sometimes people come a cropper, is because they say, well, yeah, but when I move it, it's moving right to 100% and that lot. So how do I do the constraints? And this is that thing. This is how you do it down here. So I can say to myself, well, I don't want this one. I want this to start on 4. So I'm going to go and I'm going to say, the lowest this can be is a quarter. So let me go 4, quarter. Where's quarter? There it is. It's quarter. So I could go here and I go to the parameter range and I'll say I want this to be a quarter. Where's a quarter? Where's going around there? Probably need to flip this the other way around. I can never remember. That is quarter, and I want it to go from a quarter to an eighth. Okay. So now this range, I probably want it in reverse, don't I? So, oh no, that's right. So at its lowest, it's a quarter, and then if I change it up, so if I go like this, that would go to an 8. You're probably saying to yourself, yeah, but I don't. That effect's not working. Yeah, because I haven't activated it. I haven't turned it on. So The next thing what I said it was the pan where it, no, the pitch. I'll go, well, the pan. So I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm gonna say 50%. So I'm gonna just say here this parameter it goes from 0 to halfway, and you can see where it's gonna go. So when I turn it up, the maximum it's gonna do is half. Um, the next thing I could say is oh yeah, I want this to do 64, but I don't want it to do any more less than 0. So I'll go here and I'll make that 0, and then I'll make that 64. So when it pans, the maximum it's going to do is 64. Now the other thing what I can do is I can say how that's going to change. Is it going to go fast or slow to it? I don't really mess with them, but you can, because you can say where that is, and you're doing that between the range. So, for example, let me move that. So I think if I go like this, it's going to be quite instant. I can never remember which way around it is for this, but it's like it'll be one where it goes. It'll just go really fast. I think I think if it's one, it's just straight in there. And I think I can never really remember which way around it is. The other thing what I can do is I can make it momentary. So when I do that, it'll do that, but as soon as I let go, it's back to normal. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it do that, and then when I let go, I'm going to make it echo off. So it's going to do that, and then when I let go and it goes back to 0, it'll echo off. That might be nice. Right. So the next thing I'm going to do is pad grid. So I'll go to pad grid, and to get pad grids up so you can see them here, you go whatever it is and pad grid. So because I want to have these drums so I can press it because I'm going to do it in real time, I press knobs and notes. Knobs and notes come up. If I wanted the launch and everything, I press all three. So now what I have is I have the pad grids in this corner, and I have my launch thing so I can launch sounds and whatever, and then I can play stuff on this corner. So if you keep that in mind, by pressing all three, okay, at the moment I just want these two, and this is this is showing the top two banks. Yeah, that I just do that. You couldn't shift the banks. Yeah, technically, I think you could shift the banks. Yeah, you could shift the banks about, so you could actually have it like that. I don't. I leave it as is. Why am I making life hard for myself? So here's another great thing. This is an ace thing about the Force. How you have the flex player, you can have the flex player on the pads because all you have to do is learn them. So what am I like? I'm going to get too deep. Right. But I'll explain it. I'm not going to do it. But you could have this pad be all your flex player things because all you have to do is just press learn and then you've learned them, and you can show how you learn them because you can say, well, depending on how hard or soft, because these are velocity sensitive, you can have it do the effect more and less. I don't usually do that because again, life's too short for me, so I'll just try and get to the point. But you can do that. So, what was the thing that I wanted to do? I wanted to do it so that when I do the effect, I can press that and then that effect comes on. So I'll go back to mixer, back in the stutter. It's off. I'm going to learn this pad grid. So I'm already on the pad grid. So I'll learn. And I'm going to learn these two things. So I've left the add-on. What's the things that I want to learn? I want to learn that it comes on. Actually, I might do that because I remember I caught myself slipping last time when I did this, where I realised you have to press it when it turns on. The stutter comes on, so I probably want to have it on and then the stutter to come in after. So I'll have to have a look at that to see what the pressure is. So anyway, did I press pad one? Did I? Yes. So that's already on. So that's good. What else do I want? I want the stutter. So I've learnt the stutter now. So these are off. These are both on at the same time. Cool. I'll turn off learn for now. And what I have now is I have something where if I hit, so I've got this, nothing's happening. Why? Because it's not switched on, but I've turned it on. It's on temporary at the moment, but if it's on there, let me go back again. So press it on. So if I go, I have to get the time there. No, I'll do no, I'll do that. That's it. I have to. This is where I have to remember how how it is. No, that doesn't want to be on. I only want the stutter. So I want it on, and I want the mix down. So learn something new that I should have done. So I'll go to edit, and then I can go edit pad, and that'll take me right there because I've already got it there, so I don't have to do edit knobs because I'm using the pad grid. And that's true if I didn't have anything on pad grid. If the pad grid shows up, you can just press edit and it'll go direct to the pad grid. So I've got enable on there, but I don't want enable on there because I want that effect to be on. So let me go back to here. I'll just turn it on. So that's permanently on. The thing that I want is I want those effects to be affected when I want them to. So at the moment, I've got all of that, but I don't want it to do that. I want it to do that when I want it to do that by switching this. So now I've got freeze. So if I go, that's on until I do it because it's in temporary position. What I want is, what did I say I wanted? I don't know. I can't remember. No, I think that's it. There was something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, good lord, just remembered. So yeah, so in that I've got my effects, and then I can control that how that effect is affected. So you can see I've got all of the of how it's going to go up and that. The thing what I did say, what was that thing? What mix? That was it. That was it. So what I want to do is at the moment that effect is on. I don't want that effect on. I want that effect off until I press stutter for it to be on and an effect is how I'm going to use it. So let me show you how you do that. I suppose now, because I'm here now, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to go here and I'm going to go across. And now, do you know what? I'll just learn it. So I'll go shift, go back to stutter, go to learn. On that bank, I'll go to learn. And then what I want to do is learn the mix. So I'm going to press that. It's not press that, sorry. I'm going to go like this. And that's going to learn that to that button. So now it's 100% that mix. So otherwise, this plays normal, but if I press that, but my problem is, if I don't hit it on the right time, it does that. So I can say, well then, how fast do I want that mix to come in? I think the mix should come in and then see if I can get a delay on that stutter. So let's see. So if I say that's on that one, and then I think it's a trigger, and I never really remember. I think this is it. I think this has to be on trigger, and then I think if I go like this, no, that's immediately on. Am I on the right thing? That's immediately on. Versus if I go like that. So I want this to go to 100%, but I want it to go 100% straight away. I don't think it'll make much difference. So I'm going to leave it because this is going to take too long and it's something I have to think about. So I've got my effect anyway. I've got my effect. So I've done all that. Truthfully, I should have recorded it in, but I didn't. So let's quickly record this in. Right, let's record. Let's do a tune. Let's do a tune and we'll get out of here. It's already took too long. I hope this has been helpful. I hope all of what I'm showing is being helpful because that's the only reason why I do these things. Is my hope that it helps people create a tune. Create. I hope it helps people in their creative processes. Right. I want to start this off. Should I strip this? Yeah, I'm just going to freestyle it. So I'm going to record it all in and then strip it back. So let's just go launch. We'll go like that. So I'm going to start. I'm going to do all of this. Right. Add my little rolls in. So if I go here, app, I can get rolls. Right, little bits in. Right, that's too long. House songs, but I'll probably clip this, shorten this, but we'll do it while we're here. This tune's terrible, but at least we'll come up with something. Right, quiet you. Let's go to all. C, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Start there. Okay, so we'll start there. So we'll quickly move this across to here. We'll delete this. Edit. Delete them bars. That. It's taking too long to start that. We'll keep that there. That's too long. So we'll get rid of all of that. So loop. Get rid of that. Let's start right there then. Yeah, we'll just start it. Taking too long. Get rid of that. Looping. Get rid of that. Start again. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll get rid of some of that mush here, so we'll build it up, put it into a loop, loop, go to there, and like I said, what's brilliant now is we can clear all what we don't want. So we'll start off with kicks, we'll get rid of the hats, so we'll get all rid of that hat, start with, now we'll get rid of all of that. We'll start with the pushes, so we'll get rid of all that stuff. Keep that where that, we'll keep them in. We'll get rid of the hi-hats, maybe. Yeah, that will work. So we'll have that. And see, this is what's cool about this device, because I'm just doing this in thingy. Down. We could probably have a jam there. So we could go down. We could probably flip that, couldn't we? Make that 2 bits. I don't know. I'm getting too. No, look, I've took too long. Let me just finish this off. Sorry. I know me. I'm stupid like that. Right. Okay. Is there any more? Right. Just watching. Okay. So I'll quickly finish because I need to show that film. No, I will have that because I want it. I want to show little tricks while I'm going out. So down. So we'll go down. Yeah, I think that might work. Down. I think that's quite cool. Oh, redo. So, check this out. I'll say to myself, I prefer doing it in this one. Well, I'll do it here, but I prefer doing it like this. So, I can go, I'll go, no, I'll do it in this one because it'll make more sense. I like that down. So, I'll go here and I'll click that and I'll say copy to clip. So, I'm going to copy this to clip. Blam. And I'm going to copy that thing to an empty clip. I'll just copy it down there. Do it. There. And I'll do the same with that. I'll copy to clip in the same place because I can choose there. So on that one, I'm going to do it to the same place. Do it. So now, if I go and I'll go to not edit there. If I go, I'll select that. I'll go to clip. No, I'll go to there. This section's still here because that loop's still there because I've copied it, but I'll copy that loop section there, and it's the same with that loop section there. So if I go select, interesting. Right, I'll get to that. Loop start 20. All right, loop start 20. I'm going to play both of them. Right. Interesting. Okay. all's not lost. Interesting. Oh, yeah, of course. That's why. Totally forgot. Right. Okay, so loop starts 20. It's not the loop start. It's not the start. It's a loop start. So I've gone to there. So I've got my nice little piece, but it's the whole thing. But I don't want the whole thing. What do I want? I just want that piece. So all I have to do is trim to length. So now I'm going to trim that other piece to the length. And this is how you can come up with bits from your own tune. Where is it? I'm on there. Trim to length. And this is how you can come up with bits from your own tune. So I've like, so I can run that back in now because I like that bit. So I can play this with that, the rest of that. So I'm going to play that. Record that. So I'm going to record these two in that first bit. So I'm going to go record, not clip, shift, arrangement, and it's going to record these pieces in. It's not going to record that stuff. It should record this. Oh no, it's going to record over that. I don't want that. So what I should do, if I go play, no, it's going to record that. I don't want that. So an easy way of me doing that would be just to clear that. So I'm just going to erase those things from that bar. I clear events. No, that'll clear all the events. I want them. Oh, wait a sec. Is that clear? Do you know what? I've not done it this way. So I want to see if I clear events. Will that clear events from that section? No, that's the whole sequence. So what I'll do is I'll just go in here and get rid of that section. I can just get rid of that section from there. Let me just select that section. Select that section here and get rid of it. Delete. It's probably a quicker way of doing it. I just can't think of it at the moment, so I'll get rid of that section as well. Just here. Delete. So now that should be blank. Yeah, cool. There's probably an easier, quicker way. I just couldn't think of it. So what I'll do is now I'll go back to arrange, and then I'm going to record this into here. So that won't record over anything. So I can shut that down. It's just going to record these pieces here. So there is a way I could have done it. I just remembered that. Oh, I thought I was doing both. Undo. Oh, do you know what? I'll do it there. Just do it there. Do you know what? Screw it. I'll do it once and then I'll just copy it. So zoom out. So I'll just record that. That's it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that section behind, so it's just going to erase. I want to copy that and that, and I think I can do that. Yes, I can do it there, but I'll do it. So I want to do it last bar. How many bars is that? Let me just check. Go here. First bar, it's 20 bar. Yeah, right. So I want it to do it to the 21 before it in it. So edit, copy bar, after one copy, replace. So if I'm right, let's see if I've done that right. Well, I did that completely wrong, didn't I? Try to think of if I go ignore, can I ignore this? Can I turn this off? Record. Oh, turn it off. Wait, that. If I turn it off, then that can't record. Is that right? These are little things where I haven't really checked. So cool. Yeah. Right. So I can go back. I can put that back in. It's not going to record there. It's going to... Oh, wrong one. No. I don't want to record that. I don't want to record there. I want to record these. Let me just see something. Again, I've not really paid much attention to this. I could do you know what? It's all the same thing, so it doesn't really matter. I'll just re-record over it again. So I want it for these two lengths, and then I'm done. Then I'll just do the thing. So let's go to how far? Just roll into that. Yeah, down. Do you know what I could have done? Now I'm thinking about it. I could have just added the the X thingy, couldn't I? And anyway, I've done it how I'm doing it, so I'm just gonna do that and then roll it in. So we'll go here. Like I said, there's probably better ways I could have done it, but I did it the way I've done it. So it'll be right. It'll be right. Quiet. Right, so we'll go here. Did I even record that in? I didn't even record it in. Alright, let me do it again. Do it from there. Here we go. That'll do. And a crash. Oh, I'm going too far out. I'm going too far out. And a crash. Right. Oh, let me just put one crash in. I'll just put crash there, crash. And you get to see how I'll develop something. So I'll go here. I'll type I'll just put crash. Is there a crash? Hi-hat there. Sample. Find a crash. Actually, put the word crash. Yeah, shove it. That'll do. So there we go. So we'll get back into it. What I do like about this, if I wasn't talking to you lot, I would do it without even stopping play. So I would have probably none of that crash. Oh, I thought I put that crash stuff in. Let's add that in then. Come on, we'll add that crash in. We've got the roll on. So app, and then just pressing loads of buttons will give you some nice rolls. That better have recorded. Oh, do you know why? Because look at this. I didn't even have it on. Let me do that again. Sorry. Now it's definitely going to record. There we go. Let's see if that had funkiness to it. Right, let's get to the thing that we were doing with the cue. So we'll add this cue thing in and we're good. So and then let's go back to the thing. So we've got a track. So I'm going to add these in and then I'm going to add the effect after. So that chord doesn't work, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that. That's going to be me. So I'll get rid of them chord things, but I'll show them. So yeah, that was alright, except for that, which was whack. So we'll clear that. If you don't know, to clear something and the track is easy, you just press delete and then you press that and it'll ask you if you want to clear it. So that's a good shortcut. So all right then, we've got that. Now we've got that sound. So let's mess with it. So where is it? Oh, it's here. It's there. And I said I was, yeah, the way I've done it. I could do it two ways actually. I could have made it so that this comes on. I could make it so that this comes on when I turn this also. So if this is down, it's also off. And that means I've got the stutter and this. So what I can do is at the moment, I've got me little effect there where when it stutters, it'll go on. Da, 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 da. But what I might do as well is I might actually have it so that when you turn it, I've got this. No, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep what I've got here. So let's go. So watch. and I'm just going to record them in. So whatever it is, it's whatever it is, and I could modify it, and I'll show you. I'll quickly show you modifying, and then we're done. So and the other thing I said I was going to do is a reverb to it, but whatever. So, so now I'm just adding little bits in, but I've still got my choir. So I missed a bit. So I missed it that twang there, so I could go there, find where it was on that track. It's on that track there. So go in there, go into auto, go through autos. No, it's not there. Where is it? It's there. Autos. There we go. So on that thing, I've got my it was a pad, so pad one. I wanted pad one to switch on. So here. So now I can just go. I go here where it was turned on. I think it was that. And let's see. So I turned it on a bit late, I think. Go like that. Let's see. I might have got this wrong. I'm not going to think it over. I think I've shown what it was anyway. I think that would I chose the wrong one there. It needs to be mix. That's the one. So I probably wanted to have mix come on slightly earlier. And where's stutter? Where's the actual freeze? There we go. So maybe that freeze wants to come on slightly earlier. I don't know, something like that. Let me get to that point. Yeah. Right. So we did something. Again, thank you for staying with me and seeing it through to the end. I kind of went off on tangent again, but I think this is just the nature of me and my showing things one to one. I'll get giddy and then I'll try and show a load of ideas. And as always, hopefully this helps you. Write in the comments if there's anything particularly you want to see. You can help me help you. So if there's things that you particularly want to see or anything like that, write in the comments when this gets uploaded, and then I'll try and focus on that. Do you know what I mean? Because I always tail off. Maybe the idea is I just do a hardcore tune and don't say and just explain little bits, but because I keep showing tricks, and it's kind of prevents me from continuing on. I don't know. You'll tell me. All right then. Well, it's nice being here with you all, and keep creating, have fun, and until next time, as always, peace.